Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Again, I apologize for the scruffy throat and not sounding normal COVID, but we are fine. I think I'm on day 3. So what we're going to do today, and yes, I'm wearing a mask, is we're going to install the grille, light bar, bumpers, hopefully headlights, and headlight buckets. That's my goal for today. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I've had the grill sitting on there. It makes sense. I've not had the light bar out or the bumper. So we just got to figure that out. But I got to get Don, which I'm going to text him here in a minute, to go get me some normal headlights. And then I can get the headlights in, hopefully, and everything wired up, and put some fluids in here and see if she starts with the key like it should. I know it cranks with a key, so see if everything else works, and see what gauges work and this, that, and the other, and start going down that path. See if our lights work at all. See if fuse panel's good, you know, those kind of things. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Stay tuned. I'll bring it all to you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. We've been busy, as you can clearly see. If you've been following along, you know. So it is Monday night. This is your Monday night update. I want to say it's December 8th, for those of you following along at home. Yeah, so the front went a lot better than the back. That's the good news. Bad news is we found out real quick that we're missing some parts. Don thought he bought the whole bumper. So we're missing this, the part that comes across here, and then that. We don't have that. Otherwise it'd be on. So Don's, I think he's getting that. I'm not sure. Honestly, he'll probably be watching this and remember and order it. So the top part of the bumper, or whatever you want to call that, is not there because we don't actually have it at the moment. And we figured out real quick, Tony did, that we were missing a part, actually 2 parts, for the headlights. So you have the buckets here, right? Now, actually this might be a better view, you probably get better light. Now what we were missing were these deals where the rings where the headlights actually sit into, and these. Now, a lot of you Tri-5 guys are probably looking at me going, those are not for a 57. They're not. Those came out of a 55 that Anthony had. But they are what we need. Don ordered a new set for 57. Actually, I think he said he ordered 4 sets or something. But anyway, he ordered them today, so they should be coming. So we won't have headlights in this for a little bit, but, you know, kind of is what it is. Not for a lack of trying. But grill went in great. The Dan Chuck grill fit perfect. The Dan Chuck light bar fit perfect. The only complaint that I have is the American Auto Wire harness, light bar harness, where it plugs into the back of the light bar for the 2 lights here, is just loose and wobbly. I got to do something to tighten that up. Really probably shouldn't be that way. It should probably be a snug fit, but that's the only gripe I have so far. Now, the bumper, again, this is that APP bumper. Fit really good so far. Now, the reason this took all damn day was the bumper brackets. We were trying to use the original bumper brackets, which I quickly found out I was missing several pieces. And a couple of the pieces I had, but they were rotted out with bolts broken off into the things, and just bad deal. So Don went over and brought us the new bumper bracket kit for the front bumper that he had for his other 57. And that was very helpful, problem is they don't fit for shit either. So the main center brackets that go here, so you got a bracket here that kind of bends in and goes into the frame, and then you've got another bracket here that's got welded in nuts. Yeah, you're off. So if you're looking through the bolt hole between the two pieces on the bumper, you're off half a hole. Easy. Sometimes a full hole on the holes. So we had to trim some of these brackets and make them fit, and that's what kind of took the time. So if you guys are working on your 57s, 55s, tri-5s, I don't want to leave out you 56 guys, be aware that the odds of you actually having to cut brackets, things not fitting correctly, so on and so forth on these bumpers is probably very, very, very high. Okay, so just be ready for that. It's not the end of the world, but it just, the brackets are too deep, basically. You had to cut off the bottom, basically, just to get them to drop down in, and then ream out the holes on the bumper a little bit. So that's where a lot of our time was spent, right here, trying to get this working. In between, I mean, let's be brutally honest, I was garbage this morning for the first couple hours because I have COVID, and I just felt terrible. I had no energy. I just sat here looking at the bumper going, yeah, I don't want to do that. But after lunch, I kind of got a second wind, and that's when we started slamming the grill and the light bar, and everything started happening at that point. So Ron was working this morning on a couple things to try to save Don's life. One of those things is to get the battery bolted in correctly with all of that, which is great, and it's in. He had to cut the rod a little bit, make it fit. You know, it's one of those, nothing fits perfect, you got to make it fit kind of deals. So got that done, and then Ron redid the fuel line from the fuel pump up to the carburetor because it was running directly into the header. It was sitting on the header. The fuel line was sitting on the header. And I would love for Don to make it at least down the street before the car catches on fire after doing all this. So he got that fixed for him. So really, really a good day. Car's really starting to look like something. Don's getting all excited. Now, give you a little better angle of this thing. But what we have left, let's go over that. So we got a couple brackets to finish up on the underside of the bumper. It's about 80% bolted on right now, but that's not a huge deal. Everything's lining up and fitting, so I feel pretty good about that. The upper part of the bumper that goes across the top of the grill, on top of the hood and all that, that's TBD. Waiting to see if Don buys it. If he doesn't buy it, then it'll leave here looking like this. And then he can bolt it on. You know, that's a real thing. Could happen. Not something I anticipated. I really wanted to see it completed today, but, you know, it is what it is. What else? The headlight buckets we have, but the headlight assemblies, I guess you would call it, are on their way. So got to wait for those to get the headlights in. But once they get here, should slam together. The grounds are done. The wiring's all in and hooked up. Everything's where it needs to be. Just need those things, but for a 57. And then we should be cooking with hot grease there. That should, well, no. The hood rockets, I'm waiting on a bracket to get the hood rockets on. And then that should be everything that needs to be done on the front of this car. Tomorrow, Ron's going to add coolant, try to fire this thing up, and hopefully everything turns over. I know it turns over with a key, but hopefully everything else is still the same and nothing weird's happened. And it'll fire up, and we can get it warmed up and then check the tranny fluid. Top that off. We know we're low because we took the radiator out and unhooked the tranny lines. But get that all topped off, get all the fluids topped off to where this thing is ready to drive out of this garage as soon as we get a gas pedal, right? To at least do some basic shakedowns around the neighborhood. We also need to wire up the fan. We got to get that done. Probably put it on a switch or something inside and get that figured out, or just wire it on hot with the key. That might be a thing too. Key goes on, fan comes on. Could be a thing. And then we should be there as far as engine wise. So there's that. Inside, we're waiting on the turn signal switch, the horn, little rubber bushing with the green horn wire, and yeah, once that gets here, we'll hook that up, and then we'll put the new steering wheel on. The new steering wheel is black, so be ready for that, but it'll still look great. And then the inside there's done. We still have to do the side glass. Got to get all that in. We're still waiting on the rear seal for the back window, and I think that's it, boys. Oh, taillight wiring harnesses. The pigtails for the taillights, I got to wire them up. Not a huge deal. Once that gets here, really just waiting on parts at this point. We're going to continue working, getting the bumper completely dialed in, get the fluids in it, get it started running, all the things. Probably jack it up, put it into gear, just to make sure it goes into park, reverse, neutral, drive, all the things, low, and the rear wheels spin and whatnot, and which I'm fairly certain that they do, because if I remember right, when we started this up over here, I think it was in gear and it was spinning. So, and then we also got to check the neutral safety switch and see if that's actually neutral safety in, and go from there. But a whole lot shorter list than what we had 3 days ago. So now we have a 57 Belair. We're happy about it. I was going to tell you, I was talking to Don, and he was showing me pictures and whatnot, and so that you guys know, this is the original doors that came off of this car. You see the trim up here and all the things. There's the original turquoise. You can see it way down in there. So long story short, this a couple of you have been asking me if it's really a Belair or not. You know, truth be told, I think it is. And this will probably make sense. Don had so many body panels new. He bought the doors that didn't have the holes in it for the trim, and he bought the rear quarter panels that did not have the holes in it for the trim, but it had little dimples. You can kind of see them. They're still kind of there. We left them sort of in there so that if somebody actually wanted to put the trim back on the side, which I'm sure someone will do, you know, they can drill the holes and do all the things, because at some point I would assume somebody's going to take this, sand it down, and paint it turquoise and white or whatever color, and finish it off. I don't know who that'll be, but that's the thing. I did look at oh, for the life of me, I can't think of your name on here, but one of you's been writing me a lot about this. I checked the steering wheel, the original steering wheel. After you mentioned that, I checked the actual horn button, and it says Belair across the bottom right here. So I'm thinking it's a Belair. It's just the guy that bought panels without holes in it, and so therefore a lot of the trim, you know, when he bought these quarters, he bought the quarters to here. Right, like, I mean, the entire side of the car. So, you know, I think, I know the title says, I'm pretty sure it says Belair, I think. According to him, it does. And so on and so forth. So I'm pretty sure it's a 57 Chevy two-door sedan, Belair, Post, blah, blah, blah. The 50 different acronyms for it. So, I think that's what we're dealing with. I'm not 1,000% sure because so much has been changed on this car, and I wasn't there in the beginning. I was out in Taos, New Mexico when he got this car, and you know, I got to see it. When I first saw the car, it looked like this without the front on it. So I didn't know, but I'm assuming from everything that I've been told and seen that it is a 57 Chevy 2-door hardtop Belair edition or whatever. So, and all the parts that I keep seeing that came off of this car have all of the trim and all of the things. You know, like this door, it's got that top trim here, but it's also got the holes here. If you guys can see this, for the side trim down the side and so on. So anyway, I think that's what we got. So we're gonna run with that and see where it goes. But hopefully, see where this goes. I would love by the end of the week to have this car running, driving, and out of my garage, but I need the parts to show up, right? So that's really the thing that's holding us up. Next week we're going to my brother's in Cincinnati, so we're gonna lose a week there, and then you get Christmas coming. So hopefully by the first of the year, if that doesn't happen, the parts are all here and we can get this out of here by the first of the year. That's my backup plan B, and I don't like making plan Bs. I'm kind of the burn the boats kind of guy, but yeah, I know, you know how that works. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave you with this. Hope you guys have a great Monday night, and we'll be back tomorrow with just a whole lot of little things, and honestly, Ron might start on the windows and window regulators and all that, and start buttoning some of that up, and we should be able to get some footage of this running and for you guys. And it won't be driving, we don't have a gas pedal, but it'll be doing all the other Chevy things here soon. So stay tuned for that. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and check us out on TikTok. We're over there as well. It's Brown's Rod and Custom. So we'll see you soon.